My name is David Foster and I live in Middle Tennessee. I've been into photography for nearly 40 years now, and I've been fortunate to have owned many really nice camera systems. I would be hard put to say though that I have owned any that I'm as impressed with as I have been recently with the XPro1. I bought an XPro1 about 90 days ago, and it's the first camera I've had in a long time that I've decided that I'm going to keep with me all the time. You know, every morning I grab my bag. It's a very small bag with 4 lenses and a camera body, and I'm really enjoying photography again. I find excuses to go out over my lunch hour and photograph, or to stop on the way home and take some pictures. It's put the fun, really, it's put a lot of the fun back into photography for me. One of the things I'm most impressed with the camera, of course, is the size. I love the small rangefinder style bodies, and with that particular camera, you know, like I say, I find that camera body with 4 lenses and a small bag weighs 5 or 6 pounds. I can carry it everywhere. When I go out on events, I enjoy shooting the camera because it's so unobtrusive. Nobody panics, nobody looks at it and goes, oh, it gets real jittery. They just tend to ignore you when you're shooting a smaller camera like that. I know with my DSLR, I'd pull it out of the bag and people start backing up sometimes just because it's so massive. And so it's been a real pleasure to shoot a smaller camera. One of the first things I did with the camera was I took it out on a nice social event. I enjoyed carrying it because it was so small and so unobtrusive. Nobody even noticed I had it. It didn't occupy anyone's interest. But and in this particular situation, the lighting was very terrible. Okay, it was a very bad place to shoot. But this camera was able to shoot in such low light. It was amazing. You know, I know it's a combination of the lenses and the sensor and the way the system works, but I was able to get photographs that I never would have been able to get before. I don't believe I could have captured them very effectively with a DSLR. For instance, I had a fire dancer there, and she was lit basically by the flames on her batons. It was very low light, but the images turned out very nice. I've taken the camera hiking. I loved it. Okay, the people that were with me were carrying much heavier equipment, and the image quality I was able to get was staggering. Okay, the other people that were with me were very impressed with the overall image quality. They liked the way it looked. They liked the way it resolved. Whenever we played with the files, you know, I could keep going and going with the files. Never had to slow. When you buy a camera system, you really don't buy the system as it is, because what you're buying is what it will be as it grows. Right now, but the one exception on that is the lens quality, and that's one place where Fuji just shines. The lenses are phenomenal lenses at extremely reasonable prices. I purchased the 14 and the 23, and I've got the 56 on order. It was interesting when I went into Dury's, my local camera dealer, and talked with them about the camera system. Almost everyone that works in that store is also an XPro or an XE owner. They're extremely happy with the X system. It's become the camera system of choice, and some of them have actually sold off the DSLRs, but I'll plan on keeping mine for other projects. It's always interesting whenever you purchase something new, that buyer's remorse that you often hear kicked in for some folks. I'd be very hard pressed to say I've ever felt that way. From the day I took it home, I've been impressed with the camera, with the quality, with the way it works, the way it looks. I just like the camera overall, and I've been as happy with that camera as I've ever been with any camera system that I've ever owned.